Hi everyone, it's CO from The Grand Eat, and I am going to be showing you how to cook my famous red lentil stew. It's really simple to cook and it's easy to prepare for. Everything that you require will be listed in the description box. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start off by cutting up some shallots. I tend to chop my onions, any type of onion, this same way because it's easy to do and the cut is really nice, it's quite fine. Now you can decide to leave your chopped vegetables on the chopping board or put them on a plate, it's really up to you, I'm not the police. I actually planned to only use shallots, but because they're so small, it was kind of irritating me chopping them up. So I decided to revert to what I love the most, red onions. I said plural, but I only used one for this recipe and it was a large one. I then chopped up my garlic very finely. To remove the skin from your garlic, you can use a tin. You put the garlic in the tin and you shake it all about and the skin just drops off. Now, even though I have this knowledge, I never do it. So I just use a knife because there's no reason, I just use a knife. So you can choose to do it the easy way or the hard way. And there you have it. The ingredients that give everything the aroma: the garlic, the red onions and the shallots. You'll be happy to know that all of the chopping is now over. We are going to open 2 tins of chopped tomatoes. Pour the contents into a blender and also add some water. Hopefully I'm not insulting anyone's intelligence, but just so we don't waste anything, the best thing to do is to add some water to the tins, swish it about and then put it into the blender as well. Normally I would use a blender, however the NutriBullet is so much faster and also it's easier to clean, so I'm really just taking the easy way out. To be completely honest, this step is optional, so if you prefer a chunkier finish to your soups and stews or you don't have a blender, feel free to omit this step. Lentils swell, so you're going to need a pretty big pot for the amount of lentils you plan to cook if you're following the recipe to a T. So I add a bit of oil into the pot. Now this might look like a lot, but it really depends on how much you're planning to put inside, so don't be alarmed, I think this is perfectly reasonable. My oil of choice was sunflower. Once the oil has heated up sufficiently, add all of your onions and your garlic to the pot. There's no such thing as over stirring or even under stirring here, but the aim is to get everything in the pot to be quite browned. When the onions and garlic look softer and more browned, add your curry powder to the pot. To those of you who live by your scales, I am so sorry, not sorry, I don't measure. So please just use your eyes to gauge everything I'm adding to the pot. The great thing about this dish is that not only is it simple, but it's really easy to fix the issues that you may run across whilst cooking it. So for example, let's just say you have way too much seasoning in the pot. You can add some water, you can even add maybe some potatoes to soak up some of the seasoning as well, and lentils and potatoes go really well together. So this is something that you can edit to kind of fit in to what your fantasy is basically. Lentils and fantasy, they don't really go together, but whatever. When you start to see that everything looks a bit more brown, you can add your tomatoes to the pot as well. So this mini break here where you can see I'm not stirring, I went to go and collect some water and I added the water to the NutriBullet container and just put that into the pot as well. So you're aiming for the mixture to be quite thick, but also for the onions and the garlic not to peak above the tomatoes. Add as much water as you think you need. It's recommended that you soak your lentils for up to 24 hours before cooking, because this will reduce the amount of gas that's present that causes abdominal discomfort when digesting. So if you have anything like irritable bowel syndrome, then this step would be really helpful for you. I didn't do this. What I did instead was rinse the lentils thoroughly, and this step is also very important because this helps you to identify any dirt, stones, any debris that needs to be removed prior to cooking. This is not a step that you overlook or decide against doing. I have never cooked lentils without washing them or rinsing them, whatever you want to call it. You don't want to be eating and then chip a tooth on something that you could have seen if you had rinsed it. Treat the lentils like rice. Sadly, I thought I was recording, but I really wasn't. So a lot of the seasoning is already in the pot, as you can see. Here I added some hot dried pepper. In this sandwich bag I have paprika. Stir everything up until everything is well mixed together. Add plenty of water. Don't be afraid to add plenty of water to the pot, because the lentils will swell up and the moisture will soon disappear, and you'll just have to keep adding and adding until the lentils are actually cooked. Cover the pot and allow to simmer for about an hour on a medium heat. And now it's done! As you can see, the soup is quite thick. The thickness of the soup, stew, whatever you decide to call it, is largely dependent on how much water you add. So you can choose to make it thicker, at which point it will turn to pottage as opposed to a soup or a stew, or you can make it a lot thinner. It's all up to you. This is the finished product. I was really happy with it, and everyone who tasted it was delighted with it too. If you decide to give this recipe a try, please let me know. You can find me at the.grand.eat on Instagram and www.thegrandeat.com. Stay safe and take care of yourselves. Bye!